Hey guys, happy Wednesday morning. Well, Dot and I are getting ready to head out to get some mums. It is really cool and dreary and wet, and we need something to cheer us up a little bit. So we're going on a little adventure. I'm going to meet my friend Glenda, who is the manager out at the garden center at the Lowe's on Memorial Avenue out here. And I'm going to go hunt for some mums. I think I'm going to hold off on the pumpkins until maybe this weekend when it's a little bit drier. So definitely things are needing some cheering around here, and Dot and I are on it. Well, Dot and I arrived safe and sound. Normally Glenda and I would give each other a great big hug because she and I have known each other for, we were trying to calculate, maybe 6 or 7 or 8 years. All I know is that she has saved me many a time. I think we were introduced by a mutual friend of ours who would just raved and raved about Glenda and how good she was, how knowledgeable she was. For those of you in the Oklahoma City area, she is at the Lowe's location on Memorial, just west of Penn. So if you come here, Glenda's going to kill me for saying this, but if you need anything, ask Glenda, because she is the garden guru here. And one of the reasons I love this Lowe's is because it always has such great inventory. The inventory is so well maintained and taken care of. In fact, you and I were talking, this particular Lowe's, you especially have won some awards. Tell us a little bit about that.
This is the 4th year in a row that we have been the #1 seller for our annual and perennial vendor, Dallas Johnson Greenhouses, out of Council Bluffs, Iowa. And 4 years in a row, we have hit the $1 million mark to be the first store in the area, and we've hit it 4 times in a row before anyone else has done so.
So our point is, and hopefully you can hear us because we don't have a mic on today, but my point is that Oklahoma are rapacious gardeners. I mean, this just goes to show how gardening flourishes in Oklahoma and how much we love it here. So I'm here today because it is gloomy, it is overcast, it's foggy, and I need some cheering up.
Yes.
So Dot and I, and for those of you who don't know, Dot is my own little department of transportation, Dot my Fiat. And Glenda is very familiar with Dot because she has helped me cram all sorts of plant material into my tiny little Fiat. Sometimes she even offers to bring it to my home for me if I can't fill it all in, if my eyes are too big for my stomach. So today I'm here to pick out lots of mums, take a look at some other things that are here, and then you and I are going to meet back later. Sometimes there'll be things on special, and I'm always buying in large quantities, so I always ask Glenda when I arrive if anything is marked down or on special. And so I guess the whole point of me introducing you to Glenda is, and it's not just true here, I think it's true wherever you shop. Get to know the person in charge that is really the purveyor of the plants, who knows what's in stock, what's coming. How many times have I texted you? Numerous times to ask what you've got and what you might be getting soon. So it's always a good idea to get to know your nurseryman, your garden center people, so that they can keep you abreast of kind of what they've got that's going out and what you've got coming in. Exactly. So now we're going to walk around and I'll get back with you later. Okay, Stuart, let's go look at some mums. Dilemmas I always have is trying to decide what color I want. Glenda has been to my home many times, and she knows that I have a dark colored house and she kind of knows my color predilections, but also what would look good with my house. So I was debating between the yellow and this white with a hint of yellow, and we've decided to go with the white at Glenda's recommendation. Now, one thing that I try to look at, you guys, is sometimes when you buy them, they will come in like these pretty pots, and if I was giving this for a gift, I would get it in a pretty pot. But this is not for a gift. This is very, just for me to put in the ground or to stage. So I'm gonna go and look for the white in just a plastic pot. The other thing that Glenda was talking about is, do we want them in full bloom, in part bloom? And for me, the best is where it's starting to show a hint of color, that I know exactly what I'm going to get, but I want most of it to be in tight bud. Knowing that, especially because next week it's supposed to get hot, and so I try to think into the future about what I want. In most cases, when I buy a plant, I will kind of gently lift it out of its pot to see if it's root bound or something like that. But in this case, these are kind of short-term characters, short-term players in my garden, so I really don't care about that. I just want to make sure that there's no broken stems.
Right. Or
yeah.
Not lopsided, where one side is flat. You want to look for something that's a little more fully rounded.
Right. And just not a distressed plant. And because the stems are real rigid, Glenda, sometimes I think breakage can really be a problem. So that's another reason I like this store in particular. Okay, so lead the way, Glenda, to where I can find this color in big pots. Right here. The white. Okay, these are gorgeous. Now these are absolutely gorgeous. So I'm gonna get, what did I say, 8? I think I'm gonna get 8 or 9 of these for my front, because sometimes I do more pumpkins and less mums, and sometimes I do more mums and less pumpkins. And this year I'm gonna do more mums and I think a little bit fewer pumpkins. So let's load these up. And then if you've got any maybe I should just take one of those smaller ones then that has. You can use a little bit popping off. But I mean, they are well shaped. Yeah, they're well shaped and everything. So 4, 6. Here's another consideration. I look at these and I think, oh my gosh, that's going to really cover a lot of space. But I'm looking at it on this cart. I'm not thinking about it in context of my large landscape and how far they'll go. Now, Glenda and I just talked about trying to purchase some that already are in flower, but this size, I'm just going to have to be patient and wait for a little while. But that's okay, because that means the show will go that much further into the fall.
Correct.
When it's cooler. So I think, can we squeeze one more here? Do you think? And sometimes, I know you'll ask me, do I ever mix colors? And sometimes I do, but this year I'm going real simple. I just want a very clean, uncluttered look. So I'm just going all with white. There we go. There we go. Yeah, I have to have a double wide and a cart. So I think, Glenda, if you don't mind, I'm going to park this at the front.
Certainly.
And then Stuart and I are just going to walk around and look at some of the other things that you've got going. Okay. Okay. was saying that in my window box, I mostly want to do pansies and violas that will harmonize and kind of repeat the white mums that I'm going to have out in the flower beds. But sometimes it's really hard to find certain colors of violas, which I like to use with my pansies. And whenever I find a color that I like, I snatch them up. And today they happen to have flats of these violas that are white with the yellow inset. And I love those, partly because violas bloom just so prolifically. Do you like violas over pansies?
I get both of them, but I like them.
Yeah, she was saying she gets both of them, but they really rebloom and they go to seed, and I think they're really just wonderful.
Well, I've only lived here a little while, so I don't know what really lives. I was in Michigan and then I was in Nashville.
Oh, Michigan and in Nashville. So she's gardened both in the north and in the
I'm
south.
learning what comes back.
Yes, and in Oklahoma, well, just know that it can be a struggle. But fall planting for pansies and violas in Oklahoma is always the best.
Well, somebody was helping me because I broke my hip and I can't move like I did. And she was cutting. I said, "Don't cut the pansies," you know. She was shocked when they came back, and she's lived here forever. I said, "What do you pull them up for? Wait till they die."
Wait till they die, exactly, or it gets too hot. Well, there you have it, a testimonial on pansies and violas in Oklahoma and fall planting. So I think I am going to snatch,
This one here.
isn't it sweet?
I can't pull it.
Yes, that purple, is that,
Yeah.
can we help you? Can we get one of those for you?
I want that one.
You want that one right here? And there you are.
I think
So I think I'm going to get a flat of these white ones with the yellow insert, and I'll track down Glenda and tell her to add it to my mound.
if you've got hanging
Of
baskets,
flowers.
you can't find these, and these are really nice. They're $1.98 over there,
Okay,
and they
another
just now got them in.
Another testimonial, if you need core liners for your hanging baskets, they've got them for $1.98. This, you guys, is not a commercial for Lowe's, but whenever I find something that's been out of stock for a while or that I think will be really helpful to you, I think it's valuable to point it out. So,
I kind of cheat because I go to the dollar store and I get the biggest plastic container. Put that here. This holds the water and they won't go through.
that's a great tip. That is a great tip. Okay, I'm heading to check
When
out.
I see the bows, get them because they don't always have them.
That's right. And that's a good tip in general. If you're at a nursery and you see something that's hard to find, get it. So now I'm going to head to the checkout counter and see if we can fit all of my goodies into Dot.